my YouTube channel. My name is Sophie. I am the author of Through Her Eyes, my debut novel, which is a YA fiction. It can be crossed over, and if you want to buy now, the link is below. Today I am going to be doing author interviews, and I have the amazing SYDNEY Man on the other side of this camera, and I hope you all enjoy. Now, SYDNEY is wonderful, spectacular, and all around a pleasure to have as a friend. I met SYDNEY on Instagram, and I'm so happy I met her. Like, she's such an inspiration, and she's constantly lifting me up when I need it. So yeah, join SYDNEY and I in this awesome interview and get to know her more. Thank you, SYDNEY, for joining me, and now to the questions. So, when did you start writing, SYDNEY?
So my mom would tell you that I started writing as a little girl when I would come up to her with these miniature books I had created. But officially, I started writing exactly 11 years ago. And believe it or not, I was inspired by Stephenie Meyer's Twilight, thinking if she could write, then so could I.
Aw, that's lovely. So what authors have inspired your writing the most?
Okay, so Tolkien and Lewis were those who inspired my love of fantasy. But as far as writing style, I would have to give credit to Amy Harmon. She is an amazing writer. She writes contemporary, but she wrote this fantasy book, The Bird and the Stone, that had such exquisite writing in it, and I really admire how she writes. But like I said, it was Stephenie Meyer who lit a fire under me to get cracking, so I have to credit her as well for inspiring me.
Yes, I have a lot of Twilight books up on this bookcase at the side of me. I love Stephenie Meyer. I think she's an amazing author, and although the books are quite cheesy, there's something that pulls you in and you really enjoy the book. You really enjoy them, and I think that was one of the first fantasy books I think I've ever read. So yeah, I can understand that. Do you schedule your writing sessions, or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? Obviously, being a mother, I understand the hectic lifestyle of running around, rushing around, trying to do everything. Is this the same for you, or tell us, what is it like? Tell me about it.
So I'm in that stage of life where my only son is off to school, blessing me with large chunks of time in which to write. So I write whenever I can in between cooking and cleaning and all the things that stay-at-home moms like me do. But that's not to say that the days are always productive. I mean, you can't turn on a good writing session or inspiration. So, you know, I could spend hours just thinking or writing stuff that's just no good. But yes, I am thankful that I can now write for long periods of time.
What genre do you write in?
So the genre I prefer is fantasy, whether it's YA or dark or epic, and I've dabbled a little bit in each. But recently I'm trying my hand at contemporary romance, so I'm excited about that.
So for everybody watching, I've read The Dark Wood, and it's absolutely amazing. If you haven't read it already and you love fantasy, you need to read it now. Like I said, I loved your novel. For those watching, tell us a little bit more about it.
What many people might not know about The Dark Wood is that it's inspired by a verse in the Bible, Isaiah 9:2, about a people dwelling in darkness. Now, as much as I love action and adventure, which is what draws me to fantasy to begin with, the stories that stay with me are the ones that have heart. So, at its heart, The Dark Wood is about sacrifice and redemption and what true love really looks like.
Excellent, thank you. So, what part of creating this book and getting it published was the hardest part for you?
So when I set out to self-publish The Dark Wood, there was a huge learning curve for me. I had to learn how to format it. I had to learn how to create a cover. So all the nitty-gritty, but I suppose that the hardest part for me was creating a cover, because I did that myself initially before actually hiring professional designer to do it, and I end up using Canva, so that was a little difficult.
Which part of creating this book and getting it published was the easiest part for you?
I decided to go the easy route and publish exclusively with Amazon. So it was pretty easy using their KDP Kindle Direct Publishing service. So that part was easy.
So I know you mentioned before that you're dabbling in a bit of contemporary romance. So what are you currently working on? Is this what you're working on, or are you working on something completely different? Please tell us.
I just finished a draft for my contemporary romance, Journey's End, so I'm currently working on my contemporary fantasy called The Midnight Garden, which is set in a small town in Northern California.
So for everybody that follows me on Instagram, you'll know that I like to post a quote underneath my photos. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. And I like to share it with you all because I think quotes are absolutely amazing. So I'm doing something a little bit different today, and I'm going to ask Sydney what is her favourite quote of all time. Now, if you have a favourite quote, comment below your favourite quote, and I might do a little bit of a draw and see which one I like the best. And I'll feature it on my Instagram. I might even feature all of them on my Instagram at some point. But yeah, give it a share, give it a comment, and let me know your favourite quote. But for now, Sydney, what's your favourite quote?
There are so many good quotes, but I think the one that sticks out to me is the one that says, people may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but they won't forget how you made them feel. And that really resonates with me because, you know, I think at the end of our days, at least for me, I don't want people to necessarily remember my accomplishments, but to remember how I made them feel. And hopefully that is cared for and loved.
Oh, I think that's now in my top 10. Thank you for sharing that, Sydney. So, thank you for doing this. It's amazing to have you here and actually interview you. Would you like to add anything else to those watching and listening today?
I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, check out The Dark Wood, but also check out Sophie's recently released Through Her Eyes.
So, for those of you who aren't following Sydney on social media, her Instagram is a brilliant feed. You should totally check it out, and it's this one right here. Check it out for updates, follow her journey, and give her a whole lot of love. Because who doesn't like love? Thanks guys, thank you for watching, and I have a special interview next week with somebody who I think you'll really enjoy. If you're into romance, anything like that, then make sure you check in. I have announced on my Instagram page that it will be posted every Monday because I have Mondays off. If you have an idea of what we could name it, maybe comment below and let me know. I did call it Sophie Sundays because it was originally going to be posted on a Sunday, but now I'm thinking interview Mondays, but then it's a bit plain and boring. So again, drop your ideas down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you really enjoy these author interviews, and I'll check in next week with you all. Bye guys!